What's up, everyone? We're going back to Etheria today to take a look at everyone's favorite translucent figure in the Motu Classics line. Today we're taking a look at Light Hope. Alright, so here's Light Hope, and right off the bat I can say up front that this is one of my favorite Motu Classics figures, and I think I've said that a couple of times before, and I'm not going to stop saying it, but there are a lot of figures that I hold really highly in this line, and this is one of them. One reason is because he's made of translucent plastic, and I'm a sucker for translucent stuff. So I really like him in that regard, but I also like the fact that this figure was never made in the vintage line, and he's also never really been given form until now, because in the show he was just a rainbow fountain, basically, that came out of the ground. So, you know, this is a big step for the She-Ra line in terms of getting characters out that didn't really make it originally. So let's take a look at him. He is, for all intents and purposes, a standard Motu Classics figure. He's on that standard normal buck, and he comes with all of the same kind of standard articulation that we have come to expect in this line. Where he stands out is, of course, the fact that he's in a translucent body style, and he has all this different armor all over him that, I don't know, I think really stands out amongst other figures. Now, he was the subscription exclusive for the Etheria line, so you had to sub to get him, or you had to be quick at the most recent Thanksgiving sale when they kind of unloaded product, because he mysteriously came up for sale. So people were able to get him at some deep discounts. So let's take a look at him real quick, and we'll go over the normal stuff. So right off the bat, we'll take a look at accessories, because I've already got it on him, and it's an easy one to talk about. So he comes with the staff. It's modeled after the Crystal Castle in the She-Ra cartoon. A lot of gold detail, more translucent. All the staff is translucent, and then there's crystals on the top. There's the crystals in the castle piece, and I think it looks really, really nice. It's very, very Light Hope-esque compared to the rest of what they did for his figure. Now, articulation-wise, pretty standard stuff. Heads on a ball, goes up and down and around. The armor does get in the way a little bit. The arms go out all the way. They're not going to go all the way up because of that armor piece, but it is flexible to some extent, so it will go a little bit. There is a bicep swivel. We do have our single jointed elbow, and then we have a swivel and that's about it at the wrist. There are no hinges here. He does have the crunch. Mine's a bit tight right now, and he can go back just a little bit, but he goes pretty far forward. There is a waist twist. Mine's kind of tight again because it's been a while since he's been twisted, but he twists just fine. Full range of motion there. Legs go out. They would go out further than this, but of course the armor is going to get in the way, so don't go too far. You're going to start to stress that plastic. They go forward a little bit. We're going to start to hear some popping as he moves for the first time in a while, but they go out a decent amount for having this armor in place. And then we have a single jointed knee there. Pull it up here so you see it. You can see that joint in there. It wants to stretch further, but it's probably not. It's just not going to because of this plastic. There is a shin swivel or a boot cut, however you want to call it. And then we have a hinge at the ankle. Mine is, again, just tight from age. And maybe this one's a little better. Yeah, this one's a little better. It goes up further, goes down, and then there is not really a rocker there. So it's standard Motu stuff. Now, as far as the sculpt goes, like I said, he is a standard buck style. So it's the normal male buck, but he does have a different head, and it's kind of hard to make out, but it's fully sculpted, and he does have a lot of detail on the back here in that translucent part to mimic kind of a helmet. He has a beard, and then he's got kind of a standard facial expression. Where he really stands out is all of this armor, and it is very She-Ra-esque, especially the shield over here on his left arm, the sash that he's got down here, very reminiscent of She-Ra's outfit, as well as his, I don't know what you want to call these here, I want to say pauldrons, but that's not right for being on a belt. And then, of course, he's got the orb in the middle that goes around his chest on the armor, and he's got a flowing white cape with another red jewel in the back. So all of this is very reminiscent of the Crystal Castle in the show, and then it's very She-Ra-esque. I like it. There's a lot of sculpted detail in there. I mean, if I didn't know who he was, I would know that there's something She-Ra about him, especially when you put it in line with some other She-Ra figures from the classics. As far as paint goes, Obviously, he is a translucent character, but he does have kind of a rosy hue. I'm sure you can make that out on the video here. And then he has gold all over with the white and then the red accents. So where there is paint, mine is pretty clean. And then the armor has kind of a wash all over it to make it look a little worn and dirty. The same goes for the staff in terms of its gold accents. So I think they did a lot to kind of bring this character to life here in terms of what they gave him, how they sculpted him, and just the overall aesthetic of him. You know, this looks like what a physical manifestation of Light Hope from the TV show would look like to me. All right, now overall, like I said, this is one of my favorites in the line. I really like this figure. He doesn't offer anything new or exciting to the line, except for the fact that he is 100% a translucent plastic character. So, you know, that's kind of cool on its own. But he's just a cool looking figure. He stands out. He's got a lot of different paint apps all over him that make his different pieces kind of stand out from one another. So the red breaks up the gold breaks up the translucent. And I think it just all works really well to build a look for a character that we never really got to see, especially in the TV show, when you just consider the fact that he was just kind of a rainbow fountain type thing and never was a body. So I really, really like this figure. I really think that it adds a lot to the line, and it stands out from the bunch. It is definitely a Motu Classics figure. You know, I could pick him out from the pack if I knew. What is that? He's a Motu figure. Look at him. He looks like a He-Man figure, but at the same time, he looks like a little something different. So I like the fact that he's not, you know, just the standard He-Man type figure. So I am very pleased with how this guy turned out, and I'm glad to have him in my Motu collection. That is going to do it for this one, everyone. As always, stay tuned for more reviews. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Do that whole YouTube thing. And until next time.